I want to talk about how the audience reaction to Rachel on Call Her Daddy perfectly exemplifies two things that I've noticed about Gen Z. So I'll link her down below, but Mame made a video about how the Bachelor fandom's obsession with marriage sort of explains why people are so mad at Matt, but I think it's also a little bit beyond that. I saw this comment of someone saying that it was emotionally abusive of Matt to not marry her. And a couple of days ago, I saw a video, I should have saved it, but I lost it, that had 1 million views of a girl saying that she didn't understand the point of like not dating to marry, right? These are all screenshots from the search, not dating to marry. There's this weird obsession that a lot of you guys, Gen Z, has with this idea of like dating to marry. And if you don't get married, then it's a waste of time, right? I've talked at length about this in situationship videos and relationship videos and breakup videos. You guys have this sort of mentality that if like it doesn't automatically end in happily ever after, then it's a waste of time. And like breakups, you guys take breakups especially hard because you see it as like waste of time, wasted effort, and like the worst thing that ever happened to you. Here's another one with 99,000 likes. People on the Bachelor Reddit were furious at Matt. They were saying, I will say up top because I know how these comments will get, he did treat her badly in the sense that he didn't know how to argue or like express his emotions. So whenever they argued, he would make it her fault and then she would have to apologize. But I will say there is a slight like sidestepping of accountability that I think the fandom is giving her. I already made my video dragging her for the Antebellum party, which I will never forgive her for. In case you are seeing this video before my last video, it's on my profile, 2 videos down, you can scroll. She dressed up as a slave owner's wife or a slave owner, depending on who you ask. But after the Antebellum party pictures came out, Matt broke up with her and then got back together with her. I think there was another breakup where he was like, oh, he was talking to other girls or meeting up with other girls and they were sort of broken up and she was really mad. But it seemed like they had a sort of rocky relationship where they would like get together and break up and she would keep taking him back, right? One of the big issues in their relationship was that she was the sidekick. She let him be the star and like she was treated as like an appendage or like the little sister that followed him around. In September, I wrote Inputs and Outputs where I talked about this idea that you guys have on this app that if you like work at something, then you automatically deserve it. And it's like life is not a series of inputs and outputs. Just because you were with someone for 4 years doesn't mean that they automatically will marry you, right? Like, unfortunately, Matt is allowed to break up with her. And people are saying, no, but it's about the way that he broke up with her because he broke up with her before she got on a flight. We didn't know any of that. You guys were furious for a week before the Call Her Daddy interview even dropped because they were together for 5 years and he didn't marry her. In August, I wrote The Age of Entitlement. And I talked about how when I was young, the breakup posts were always very sad, right? They were always like, I'm going to jump into the river and this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And now something that I've noticed on this app, a lot of the breakup posts they have this like aggrieved quality. There's this like sense of unfairness, which is also what I'm saying about the Rachel thing, where it's like, how dare he do this to me? I don't deserve to be alone. He made me catch feelings, right? This idea that like, because you dated someone, you deserve to get something out of it. Many of you are not going to marry the first person that you date. I'm so sorry to tell you that. If you've never heard that before, now you know. I don't understand this weird thing of like, oh, because you spent all these years with someone, you're automatically like deserving of marrying them, when marriage isn't like a prize that you get after like a series of gauntlets. And also, a lot of you are very young. Like, this idea of locking down so you don't ever have to do it, like, you're trying to skip over the best parts of life. Part of being young and being in your 20s is dating and experiencing other things. And I will say, if you do get married very young, a lot of those marriages don't work because you don't know how to be in relationship. You need to learn how to manage conflict, how to manage finances, how to manage someone else, how to manage yourself, right? If you don't know how to handle the way that someone else is when they're mad at you or how to handle your own emotions, like if you're a crash out and you're like throwing knives and throwing plates at people, then you probably shouldn't be married. And that's what dating gives you. It gives you the skills and the tools to meet other people so that when you are finally ready to be married, you know how to get there, right? You can't just date someone at 16 and then get married at 21 and like know everything you need to know about how to be in a healthy relationship because you have no prior experience. It's frustrating to watch people both on here and on Reddit foaming at the mouth to like attack Matt because he dared to break up with her. Unfortunately, relationships end. He was allowed to break up with her. She stayed in a bad relationship, which I think you guys should tug on her wig a little for that. But also, you don't deserve marriage just because you want it, right? Like, that's one of the great lessons that you learn in your late 20s and early 30s. A lot of the things that you want, you're not going to get. And a lot of the things that you want, you don't deserve to get them just because you want them. I'm so sorry if you've never heard this before, but like, a lot of this weird stuff that I'm seeing on this app is generational and is very odd.